Okay, for geometry 9.6, we have learned all the trig ratios, but now we're going to learn about the inverse trig ratios. So the reason that we learn about inverse trig ratios is because in the previous lesson in 9.5, you used the side lengths of a triangle to come up with, where am I at? To come up with missing side lengths, right? Today, for inverse trig ratios, we want to come up with angle measures. So it was finding side lengths, but we can also find the angle measures in right angles using the inverse trig ratios. So I think you'll remember in previous lessons, I told you like go ahead and go 4 decimal places out. That's kind of the standard when you're using the inverse trig function. And it's because it's a little bit more precise. So to find angle B, if we're using the sine ratio and all we have is what the ratio equals, and I just want to make sure you know what I'm saying here. So I'm saying like they've already got the 2 side lengths and they divided them and they've got this decimal. So they've already taken the sine of the 2 side lengths and they came up with this decimal from it. And we're going to now come up with what the degrees of the angle measure is using this and using its inverse. So I want to point out on my calculator where my inverse button is. Inverse, okay, you write inverse like this. It's almost like a -1 exponent, but that just means the inverse sign. So I'm looking on my calculator, it's right where sine is, but it's above it, it's in the background. So to get to it on my calculator, I have to push second and then sine, and that shifts it to the function above. Some of you who have different calculators may have to just kind of play around with it until you can find out where your inverse functions are. So there's my inverse sine, inverse cosine, and inverse tangent. So I'm going to do second and sine so that I've got my inverse sine. And then I'm going to put all 4 of these decimal place values in. So 0.4848. So 0.4848. You can close the parentheses if you want, but if this is the only thing you're doing, you're not calculating anything else, you don't have to. So I pushed equals. And it's about 28.9. What are we rounding to? Oh, we're rounding to the nearest whole degree. So the whole number. So we are going to go with 29. So this angle would be a 29-degree angle. Okay, let me do a cosine one with you. So again, we're going to tap cosine inverse, and we're going to tap in our calculator 0.7431, and then we're going to push equals. So I have to do second and then cosine to get the inverted cosine, the inverse, and then 0.7431 equals. And that would be about a 42-degree angle. So 42 degrees. Okay, I would like for you guys to pause my video and try doing all the rest of these just through number 8. And then I'll start back up with you on number 9 in your notes. So go ahead and pause the video now and try these other 6 problems on your own. Okay, for sake of time, I'm just going to go through what the answers are, and you can check your work, and we can always go back and look at them later, or you can ask me if you have questions if you got a different answer than I got. So on number 5, I got 54 degrees. On number 7, I got 65 degrees. On number 2, I know I'm going out of order, sorry about that, I got 31 degrees. Number 4 was 52 degrees. Number 6 was 87, go Travis Kelsey. And then number 8 was 28 degrees. Okay, let's look at this next section. So this is when you're missing the angle, but you have the 2 side lengths, and you have to determine which trig ratio you would like to use based on what types of sides we have. And it looks like we have, from the angle they're talking about, we have an opposite and an adjacent. I'm going to write SOHCAHTOA up here really quick just because maybe you guys have this memorized now, but I always have to think it through with SOHCAHTOA. So what I've got is opposite and adjacent. So I have not opposite and hypotenuse, not adjacent and hypotenuse, but opposite and adjacent. So since I have opposite and adjacent, I'm going to use the tangent ratio. So I'm going to do tangent inverse of opposite and adjacent. So that would be 27 over 38. 27 over 38. And that is going to give me the degrees of my angle that I'm asking about. So I'm just going to put this in my calculator. So inverse tangent. And you guys are going to have to play with your calculator to see how to do this. So on my calculator, I can do 27 ABC 38, or I can do 27 divided by 38 as long as I close my parentheses. So I'll do it first with the 27 divided by 38. And then I'm going to close my parentheses because it's doing some calculations for me. And it equals about, are we going to whole degree again? Round to the nearest whole degree, yes. Whole number. So we're going to go with 35 degrees. 35 degrees. Okay. So again, you kind of have to look at your SOHCAHTOA, your trig functions, and choose which one you have information from to determine which inverse function you want to use. Let's try another one. 10 would be tangent as well. 11 would be tangent as well. Let's look at 12. 12 is different. 12, we have opposite and hypotenuse. So if we go to opposite and hypotenuse, we're talking about sine. So let's do the inverse sine ratio and put my opposite over my hypotenuse. So sine of missing angle, so we'll just do inverse, equals opposite, which is 40, over hypotenuse, which is 42. Again, you just do it the same way. It's just that I'm choosing a different trig ratio because of the information that it gave me. So inverse sine, 40, I'll use my ABC button this time. ABC, it's the same thing. 42, close my parentheses, equals about 72 degrees. So this angle would be about 72 degrees if we're rounding to the whole degree. Let's see. 13 would also be sine. 14 would also be sine. Let's turn the page. Let's see if we have any cosines here. So 15, I think, is still sine. 16. Let's look at 16. 16, 17. Oh, actually, 17 is too. 16. Let's do 16 and 18. So 16, we are looking at this angle, and what we have is we have a hypotenuse and an adjacent. And if you think of your SOHCAHTOA, adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So I want the inverse cosine, and I want to put my adjacent over my hypotenuse. So cosine's inverse, and then when it opens up that, I want to do adjacent, which is 13, over my hypotenuse. So cosine inverse, sorry, I meant to do that here, is 13 over 20. And again, just find where your buttons make these correct answers. This is going to be about 49 degrees. Okay, I am going to pause the video, and I want you guys to go back and do the ones we missed so that you can make sure you're doing this right. And I want you to stop at, just stop right here after number 18. So go back and answer the ones we did not answer previous to this, just through number 18. Pause the video, and then I'll go back through those answers, and you can double check to make sure you did it right. Okay, so just through 18, go. All right, the super quick answers, just for you to make sure you did this right. Number 11, you should have used tangent, and it came out to be 26 degrees. I skipped 10. Number 10 was also tangent, and it came out to be 23 degrees. Double check that you got all these answers, and I'm not working them out, but you can always ask me about them later. 13 was a sine ratio, and it was 15 degrees. 14 was also sine, and it came out to be 24 degrees. And then on the next page, number 15 was sine ratio, also inverse sine, and it was 30 degrees. 17 was cosine inverse, and it was 41 degrees. And then the last one, 18, was also cosine, and it came out to be 37, I think, degrees. Yeah. Okay, starting on number 19, I know it's only asking for this one angle, but a lot of times you will see it like on Delta Math or other practice problems, and you will see it where it says solve the triangle. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that anytime you see something that says solve the triangle, and you're like, what do you mean solve the triangle? It means I want all three sides and all three angles. So even though there's only a question mark here, I want the other one too. So once you find this one, the smart thing to do would be just subtract from 180. Actually, just subtract from 90, because we can assume all of these are going to be 90-degree angles. So we'll just say the other two acute angles would be subtracted from 90. So you're going to choose, again, what to do in this triangle. And since we have all three sides, you can really choose anything you want. It does not matter. You're going to get the same answer, whatever trig ratio you want to use, whichever sides you want to go from. I think I'm going to go from this question mark angle, and I'm going to do 48 and 50. I'll do cosine. So, and that may not be what you chose or what you were thinking of, and that's okay. Go ahead and go with what you think, because we're going to get the same answer either way. So for cosine, I would put my adjacent over hypotenuse, so that'd be 48 to 50. And when I put that in my calculator, oh, I think we're going to the nearest whole degree. So I'm just going to round it up to the whole degree. So cosine inverse of 48 to 50 is going to be, we'll call it 16 degrees. So if this one is 16 degrees, then if I subtract that from 90, I hope I'm doing this math in my head right, it'd be 74 for this angle. Okay, I hope that made sense. So even though it only has a question mark here, I really want you to be able to solve the whole triangle, which means all three side lengths and all three angle measures. So I would like for you guys to freeze the screen, pause the video, and I am going to work out the last 5. We'll stop here at this critical thinking questions, even though I kind of want to look at that, and see if you can work out these last 5 triangles and solve the whole triangle. So get all 6 answers, which 4 of them are done for you. So get the other 2. Okay, pause the video and try the last 5. Go. All right, the last 5. Number 20, I got for the question mark angle 53 degrees, which meant that the extra angle down here would have been 37. For number 21, the question mark angle, I got 74 degrees, which means that the tiny little one down here would just be 16. For 22, the question mark angle, I got 28 degrees, which meant this bigger acute angle up here would have been 62. For 23, the question mark angle, I got 37 degrees, which means the other acute angle would have been 53. And then for the last one, the question mark angle, I got 37 degrees, which means the other acute angle would be 53. We just had that on the last one. Those are the same. Okay, for the critical thinking, this is actually not that critical of thinking. It says find an angle x where sine x equals the cosine x. So what's the only time that the sine of whatever x is would also equal the cosine? So the only time they equal each other is in a 45, 45, 90. So that would mean x would have to be 45 degrees. Okay, and then this last one, just draw and label, basically solve a whole triangle where all you know is that it's a right triangle and it has a 40-degree angle and a 10-centimeter hypotenuse. So you guys know I'm a terrible artist. I will try my best, but you guys will do a better job than me. This is a right triangle. It has a hypotenuse of 10. It has a 40-degree angle. I'm going to go ahead and say that means it also has a 50-degree angle. And we're going to just solve it. So solve it in whatever way you want. I'm going to call this down here x and this over here y. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can solve the whole triangle for me right now. Okay, I did, for step 1 for x, I did like sine of 50 degrees equals x over 10. And so I multiplied both sides by 10, and that gave me that x was about 7.7, I think, if I did that right. Okay, and then the second step was, I mean, you could use whatever trig ratios you want. I used sine again. So I went with sine of the 40-degree angle this time because it put x on the numerator. So I didn't have to switch it all around, and it still used 10 as the hypotenuse. So multiply both sides by 10, and that left me with y of about 6.4. So double check that you guys got that too. And if you have any questions, be sure to ask me about them.